Good day. The 10 stages of manifestation. The missing pieces everyone gets wrong. I am Ijoma Oputa, the torchbearer of reflection. I help people go from pain and frustration to peace, revealing through mirror portals the limitless self. Because once reintroduced, life begins a transition from fear and lack to a joyful adventure towards emotional, material, and spiritual fulfillment. This transformation relieves multiple iterations of depression and trauma, and it correctly tethers wealth to divine purpose, the key to God's gift of abundance. It also fosters satisfaction in your physical self, making body transformations fun, and it reorganizes your approach to relationships so that you may share this journey of excellence, life, with someone special. So let's jump right in. 10 stages of manifestation and the missing pieces everyone seems to get wrong. So let me guess, you've written enough affirmations to fill an encyclopedia. Your vision board is a work of art. You've thought so positively that your face actually hurts from smiling. Only to look around you and see that your life is, well, exactly the same. What could we all possibly be missing? Well, if you were subscribed and followed my grandfather's forbidden centuries old recipe for manifestation, you would recognize the following stages. Stage 1, coherence. Every journey requires a means of transportation. For example, you can be thrilled about a trip to Monaco, but without a flight booked, you're really not going anywhere. Manifestation is no different. To enlist divine participation, one must first secure a vessel to travel through reality, through God's infinite field of creation. And that vessel is coherence, a state of eternal harmony where your conscious, subconscious, and superconscious align. This mental and spiritual alignment is a critical missing piece of the puzzle, because without it, intention is scattered, results are delayed, and the struggle becomes endless. This is why our webinar on coherence is the first product we offer. Not only is it a first step towards any worthwhile goal, it also makes the next 9 stages a pleasant ride. Our journeys to success and manifestation are supposed to be fun, so be sure to sign up using the links below and sign up for our webinar so you can understand exactly what I'm talking about. Stage 2, we must fix the relationship with our past, and that's how we reclaim our power. Any great historian will tell you a clear understanding of the past is essential if the present and the future are to flourish. Yet most people dismiss their past victories and dwell only on the pain and suffering and the mistakes. And in doing so, they ignore the rocket fuel of their own journey. The moments of success, joy, and strength that can launch them to their highest potential. Instead, by over-identifying with trauma and failure, the mind builds a wounded identity, a self-concept that unconsciously attracts more frustration, more setbacks, and more of the same cycles. This is why so many lives feel stuck on repeat. In stage 2, this stage, we help you develop a living catalog of your personal triumphs, a powerful record of every win, no matter how small. Simultaneously, we revisit key moments in your past to reframe and even correct emotional and energetic distortions that still echo in your present. This reorientation of your personal history is not just healing, it's magnetic. It clears the path for manifestation, rewrites the narrative of your life, and reintroduces you to a self that is powerful, joyful, and aligned. We explore this deeply in our second stage service and prepare you to access it through our webinar. The reflections are everything because the reflections reflect you. Register now and begin your journey back to power so your present and your future are fueled for success. Stage 3, you must fix the relationship with the present, the power of now. We've all read Eckhart Tolle's book, but do you really understand the power of now? The present moment is everything. All transformation, all manifestation, all miracles happen in the now. Who you are in this moment determines the quality of your past, the direction of your future, and the energy that shapes both. That's why the present must be rooted in one essential state: gratitude. Gratitude is not something you postpone until your desires arrive. Doing this is an act of quiet doubt, and doubt, whether subtle or obvious, blocks the flow of divine provision. Imagine your relationship with God as you would imagine your own child, if you had one. If that child constantly looked at you with low expectations, ingratitude, or entitlement, how likely would you be to bless them abundantly? Tell me about that. And if you did, let's just say you did, and yet they continue to doubt your love, would you feel inspired to give them more? This is how many unknowingly relate to the divine. They overlook the blessings they already hold: health, sight, hearing, mobility, and wait for proof before expressing thanks. But the secret is this: gratitude precedes gifts. The divine responds to recognition, appreciation, and alignment. When you're truly grateful both for what you have and what you've yet to receive, your future is magnetized with the very things that you desire. And yet, many people struggle to feel authentic gratitude, especially for things not yet seen. That's why stage 3, this stage, is devoted to unlocking the sacred present state of receiving. We'll show you how to embody the energy of appreciation with our mirror portals and become a magnet for divine support and material blessings. Subscribe to our webinar on coherence and begin practicing the power of now, where gratitude today secures the glory of tomorrow. Stage 4, selection of the future, living the reality you choose. This is the step most people rush into first, and it's exactly why manifestation rarely works for them. Skipping the first 3 stages, coherence, reconciliation with the past, and gratitude in the present, is a guaranteed recipe for frustration and failure. But even when people reach this stage, most still get it wrong. They focus intensely on the person, place, or thing they want, but in doing so, they unintentionally activate the awareness of its absence. A subtle but powerful resistance that blocks manifestation. Now here's the secret sauce most never learn. Pay attention. You don't manifest by focusing on the thing. You manifest by embodying the reality where the thing already exists. In other words, the key is to visualize a scene that implies your desire has already been accomplished. Not imagining the desire from afar, but imagining from within, as if you're already living it. You don't think of it, you think from it. From it. This subtle shift from longing to embodiment is what separates dreamers from manifestors. In stage 4, this stage, we teach you how to draft and craft these implication-based visualizations that make your desired future feel real, because they are real and they are yours now. Join our webinar to unlock this 4th phase of manifestation and step fully into the future you. Stage 5, elevation. Matching the frequency of your dreams. Everything in existence vibrates at a frequency. And unless you are vibrating at the same frequency as your desired reality, it won't fully manifest. Even if it's right in front of you, you won't even recognize it. This is why raising your frequency of consciousness is not optional. It's essential. It's like turning on a radio or turning the dial of a radio until you're on the right channel. The music of your dreams remains inaudible unless you get the right channel. And part of this process is learning to distance yourself, of course, from people and environments that operate at a lower dissonant frequency. But that's just the beginning. To truly establish resonance with your most fervent desires, you need what we call a frequency spike, a dynamic, immersive upgrade to the traditional vision board. While static vision boards may inspire you for a moment, the mind grows accustomed and that energy fades and their power quickly diminishes. A frequency spike keeps your energy sharp and your vibration high, triggering excitement and alignment at regular intervals to keep you locked into the emotional signature of your future reality. This is one of the secret weapons we teach and practice within our private community. Stage 5, this stage, is about elevation, living on the wavelength where your dreams already exist. Join us in our webinar to learn how you can generate these frequency spikes and maintain your resonance with a life you are designed to live. Stage 6, fusion, becoming one with the reality you seek. This is an advanced realm. The people that take part in this, however, understand that what I'm about to share is part of my proprietary system and accelerated manifestation. We call this stage fusion. We've all heard about atomic fusion, a subatomic event so powerful it releases staggering reality-shifting energy. The same principle applies here. When you fuse your identity with your desired reality, the energy released can collapse timelines and catapult you into an entirely new dimension of experience. This step builds upon stage 4, where you visualize from within your manifested desire. But here we go deeper. In fusion, you no longer imagine the desired reality, you become it. Through the power of observation, amplified by our unique tools such as the mirror, portal, and dynamic vision board, you initiate a state where your self-concept merges with the future you've chosen. This isn't just visualization. It's embodied transmutation, a mechanism that creates a frequency surge strong enough for you to rip out from your current timeline and anchor yourself in a new one. Fusion is where identity, intention, and divinity collide. This is part of our elite level offering within the community. It's an optional stage reserved only for those who are truly ready to stop at nothing to reshape their destiny. But no pressure. I still, at this stage, recommend our introductory webinar on coherence. Stage 7, zigzag action. Check this out. The next time someone tells me to just take action, I'll tell me, before I take any action, shouldn't I know what to do first? Well, not exactly. And that brings us to one of the most misunderstood elements of manifestation. You've got this powerful, heart-throbbing dream. Picture that. But no roadmap, no clue how to make it real. Then boom, you stumble upon some hyped-up, wild-eyed guru yelling at you, take massive action, take massive action. How in heaven's name do you take action when you don't know what to do? Which reveals a common mistake people often make in their quest for manifestation. They often wait for a clear and obvious path to their desired destination before they take any action. And that's why a majority of people rarely accomplish everything, or rather, rarely accomplish anything. To truly align with divine manifestation, you must act according to the universal pattern of movement, and that is zigzags. Now you might be asking, what in the world is Ijoma talking about? Now stay with me and let me show you something special. Let's say your goal is as simple as picking up a cup, right? But in truth, that motion is a sequence of subtle adjustments, perfected through years of trial and error and neural correction. Have you ever seen a toddler try to grab a toy? That's what raw creative action really looks like. Huh? Zigzagging towards the goal. Divine movement is not linear. It begins with action, any action, no matter how clumsy or uncertain. And then comes the correction. That's the secret. You choose your desire. You move toward it with the best information you have at present. And when you stumble, and you will stumble, you adjust. That's when the universe begins to meet you halfway. That's when the divine synchronicity kicks in. So don't wait for the perfect plan. Zig forward, hit the wall, fail, zag again, refine. And that is the dance of divine creation. And this is the dance that requires coherence. So remember to like, subscribe, share, and sign up for our webinar on coherence, the gateway to our thousands-year-old philosophy of manifestation and abundance. You have my grandfather to thank for that one. Stage 8, surrender. So you've chosen your goal, but now the doubt creeps in. You're human. What if it doesn't happen? What if I fail? After all, the world is unpredictable, right? Well, not quite. The world seems chaotic only when you believe you're doing it all alone. If you think it's all you, your power, your smarts, your hustle, then yes, it's overwhelming. But there's the missing piece. God has already created everything. Your job is not to make it happen. It's to align, allow, and manifest it. And that requires one of the hardest but most sacred steps of all, surrender. You must let go of what you cannot control, my child. Release what's outside your jurisdiction. not in weakness, but in wisdom. It's easier said than done. That's why our coherence webinar includes a subconscious release subroutine designed to free your deeper mind from attachment and struggle. So your journey towards success becomes pleasure, not pain. Flow, not force. And now the real question. Does God come through when you surrender? Well, in my experience, every time, every single time. I faced a life-ending federal indictment. The kind that doesn't leave room for escape. And yet, I walked untouched and unscathed. Only God can make that possible. Don't take my word for it. Google my name. See for yourself. Wow. Stage 9. Supplant patience with pleasure. I hate it when people tell me to be patient. What am I, a Jedi Master? I want that car now. I want that money now. That breakthrough, come on, yesterday. That relationship, hello, now. You get the picture. Now don't get me wrong. Patience is a virtue. But let's be real. There's a part of us that craves instant gratification. And contrary to popular belief, that part isn't just immature or indisciplined. It is superconscious. Yes. That higher aspect of you knows your desired person, place, thing, and state of mind already exists in the quantum field, in the higher dimension. It's not coming, it's here. So why does waiting feel so painful? Because what most people call patience is really quiet restlessness. Aha! It's yearning coded in self-deception. And that subtle anxiety, it's screaming to the universe, I don't have it. And guess what? That internal separation pushes you away from your desire. You can sit in a lotus pose and chant mantras all day, but if underneath it all you feel like you're not manifesting, you're repelling. So what's the upgrade? It's not more patience, it's pleasure. The space between the goal selection and the dream manifestation is what my grandfather's ancient order called the journey of excellence. When you can distill pleasure from that sacred in-between, you've unlocked the highest game. Because once you fall in love with the process, no thing, no status, no outcome can ever own you again. You are no longer a slave to desire. You become the master of your universe. And this mastery demands one thing, not hope, not belief, but knowing. Knowing that not only is your desire already done, but that you are the very thing you desire. When you grasp this truth, the restlessness dies. Peace moves in. And manifestation becomes as simple as reaching for my pipe and doing whatever you want to do with it. Of course, you already know this kind of balance is delicate, subtle, powerful. And that's why our coherence webinar is your first step. Once you begin, you'll see how natural it is. It's as simple as taking a walk, but as profound as molding the fabric of space and time. Stage 10, sustain focus and pay attention. You've now walked through the 9 sacred steps of manifestation. You're no longer crawling in the dark. You're in cruise control. But there's one final key to ensure you stay in the driver's seat. Pay attention. From this point forward, your mind should revolve around just 4 sacred states. Gratitude for what you already have, number 1. Gratitude for that which you have not yet seen. Number 2. 3. Coherence, alignment of thought, emotion, and action. And number 4, silence, where divine intelligence speaks loudest. And as you move forward, zigging and zagging, you must begin to anticipate and appreciate roadblocks. Yes, appreciate them. Why? Because the degree of your success is directly tied to your ability to embrace failure. Not as defeat, but as feedback, as correction. Pay close attention to what's happening around you, the coincidences, the synchronicities, the subtle signs. They are evidence that the universe is responding to your command. When you see it, acknowledge it. When you feel it, give thanks, be grateful. Because this isn't theory anymore. This is real-time manifestation, introspective acceleration. And to sustain this high level of frequency, you need precise techniques, tools, and a mental architecture. And yes, you guessed it, that's exactly what we teach in our Coherence webinar. This is your invitation to lock in this state for life. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and most important of all, watch this video again and again. Because repetition is the mother of mastery, and mastery is your birthright. Welcome to the journey of excellence. If you'd like personal guidance or personalized instructions, I invite you to book a one-on-one call with me using one of the links below. I offer complimentary sessions throughout the week, and while my schedule is somewhat limited, we will find a time that works for you. Together we'll craft a clear, actionable path towards your coherence and transformation. Thanks for joining me on this amazing journey of self-discovery and growth. If you faced challenges with manifestation, I'd love to hear your story in the comments down below. And if you're curious about harnessing the limitless power of observation through mirrors and reflections, be sure to explore my upcoming and other videos here on this channel. Peace and blessings.